There was surprise, hope, lust, and fear in both. "I'll get that ice," Kakashi said as he stood up, but Sasuke caught him by his shirt and pulled him down. Kakashi was too concerned with not aggravating Sasuke's wound as he fell forward over Sasuke on the sofa that he was at Sasuke's mercy. Sasuke attacked his lips, sucking and licking at them, poking them for entrance. The heat in Kakashi's groin grew. He shifted more comfortably over his sometime student. He wondered at the wisdom of this, but he opened his mouth and fought with the tongue that attempted to invade him. The kiss died away, but Kakashi didn't pull very far back. "I wanted you for so long, Kakashi," Sasuke confessed. "I've never bottomed before, but I want to for you." Oh God. How the hell was Kakashi supposed to say no to that? This sexy, panting Adonis beneath him was just begging for him to take his virginity. Yes, there were a few years between them. Yes, they worked together. Yes, he was a student of sorts, but it wasn't like 20-year age difference. They weren't partners, and he was no longer officially his teacher, and these kendo sessions were informal. And God, did he lust after that body. He also did love him. He knew Sasuke's past, and he felt for the young man, having been orphaned himself. Kakashi was several seconds considering, enough time for Sasuke to panic a little. "Please, I love you." "I love you, Sasuke." It was an immediate response, but that didn't make it any less true. Sasuke pounced, which wasn't easy from a seated position so close to the other, but Kakashi ended up on his back with the younger man on top of him. They were kissing again, more fervently than before. Just the idea that he was kissing Sasuke made Kakashi hard. Sasuke may have been virgin in a way, but he was definitely experienced in kissing. It eased from being hard and insistent and became slow, loving, and passionate. Kakashi was swept away and just allowed Sasuke to invade his mouth and tease his lips. He ran his hands up and down Sasuke's sides. Sasuke eased up. "I thought you wanted me to top," Kakashi said. "Habit. Sorry. I think we should reconvene in your bedroom." "I concur." Sasuke got up and stripped his shirt. Kakashi followed, his eyes roaming over the perfectly muscled back. The light from the living room lit up the hall and gave enough light to navigate Sasuke's dark bedroom. Kakashi shed his clothes as he watched Sasuke pull the blanket back and push off his boxers. Sasuke's ass was as perfect as the rest of him. He came up behind Sasuke and pressed his lips to his neck. He reached around to rub Sasuke's chest and abdomen. "You've never been taken before?" Kakashi asked. "Never." "Sure you want to take that step?" Kakashi was thinking. "With me?" "I've never felt comfortable enough with someone to let them do it, but I want it. My lover seemed to love it, and I want to feel like that." "I'll do my best." Kakashi caught the past tense in the word seemed and decided to go for it. They were both mature adults, and even if they decided in the morning that this was a mistake, Kakashi was sure they could still go back to their previous relationship. He was determined to make sure Sasuke never regretted it. "Being somewhat experienced, I expect you to have some lube handy." Sasuke pulled away to lean to the side to pull open the drawer on his nightstand. He handed the tube to Kakashi and laid down on his back. Kakashi laid the lube next to Sasuke's body and climbed on top of him. Sasuke's pale skin glowed in the light from the other room. Kakashi kissed him and let one hand explore Sasuke's nude body. He rubbed his body against Sasuke's, rubbing their erections together. Sasuke moaned. His lips ventured down from Sasuke's lips to his chest. They had worked up a sweat, but not enough to soak their clothes or give off any more than a faint scent. That was far from a repellent. Kakashi took a deep breath as he sucked at a dusky nipple, and could smell Sasuke's distinct scent as his salty skin tantalized his tongue. Kakashi moved both his knees to the side of Sasuke's body and kept teasing Sasuke's nipple with his mouth while he slipped his hand between Sasuke's legs. He felt Sasuke's soft inner thigh and further in to his virgin entrance. After feeling his bare flesh first, Kakashi lubed his fingers, and teased his puckered hole. Sasuke knew the drill, even if he hadn't never been on this side of it before. He relaxed and let Kakashi's finger penetrate him. Kakashi's palm rubbed his hard cock and balls as he moved his finger around to help Sasuke relax and loosen. He added a second finger and went about the business of opening him up. Before he added a third finger, Kakashi moved to suck Sasuke's semi-hard cock. He had to force his third finger in. He redoubled his efforts on Sasuke's cock to distract Sasuke from the sting of his flesh and muscle being stretched further than nature intended. "Tell me," Sasuke gasped, "ever bottomed before?" "No. The pain will go away soon." Kakashi didn't want to remove a finger and risk letting Sasuke tighten up again, so instead he forced his fingers deeper to reach Sasuke's sweet spot. After the pain of 3 fingers forced deep, pleasure exploded inside Sasuke's body. He gasped. "That's what feels so fucking good," Kakashi said, and went back to sucking the younger man's cock. "Fuck, that feels good," Sasuke sighed, referring to the fingering. Having Sasuke's cock in his mouth was oddly satisfying. He didn't go too deep, afraid of gagging, but he laved it with his tongue and sucked at the head and used his lips as a tight ring sliding over the flare of the head. Kakashi moaned around his cock, causing Sasuke to groan. "God, you have a wicked tongue," Sasuke said as Kakashi pulled away. "So I've been told, but not recently," he added to assure Sasuke he was single. Kakashi placed his knees between Sasuke's, and Sasuke pulled his head down to kiss him. Sasuke was definitely used to being the dominant one as he dominated the kiss. Kakashi forced his tongue in harder to fully plunder Sasuke's mouth. Sasuke relaxed and submitted to Kakashi. Kakashi pulled back. He pushed Sasuke's spread legs back for better access and teased his virgin entrance with his cock. "Do it, Kakashi," Sasuke sighed. Kakashi moved his knees closer to Sasuke's body and pressed the head of his cock against Sasuke's entrance. He shoved the head into Sasuke's body, and Sasuke grunted. Kakashi gave Sasuke a moment to get used to being penetrated, and then eased in another inch. Inch by inch, Kakashi forced his 9 inches into Sasuke's virgin tunnel. Sasuke moaned until Kakashi was fully seated within him and their bodies touched. "All right?" Kakashi asked. "I feel so full." "Painful?" "Not too bad." "Relax a little more. You're fucking tight." Sasuke smiled, probably remembering being inside a virgin before. The strangling tightness loosened, and Kakashi pulled out just a little and gave an experimental thrust. Sasuke moaned rather than grunted in pain, so Kakashi did it again. Receiving no rebuke, Kakashi started pulling further out and thrusting in faster and deeper. Just a little adjustment, and Sasuke gave a small cry as his prostate was struck. Kakashi went slower with the inexperienced raven, caressing one of his thighs. Sasuke's erection from the blowjob had flagged with the pain, but the stimulation of his prostate and the light impact of Kakashi's growing against his scrotum made it grow. Having developed a rhythm without accidentally slipping out of Sasuke, Kakashi leaned over him and stared at his face. He was beautiful even with his eyes squeezed shut and his mouth open, panting. The sight and sounds of Sasuke being fucked for the first time was just as much turn-on as the slick heat surrounding his cock. He plunged in all the way and sat upright and caressed Sasuke's lean abdomen. "You're so beautiful," Kakashi sighed. Sasuke finally opened his eyes and smiled up at his new lover. "I love you." "I love you." "Turn over." Kakashi pulled out and Sasuke got on his knees and Kakashi pressed back into him. He preferred this position because he could put his arms around his lover, feeling his body, kiss his neck and shoulders, and stroke his cock. He did all of that now. Sasuke also took advantage of the position and rocked back into Kakashi's shallower thrusts, using his strong arms to intensify Kakashi's thrusts into his newly deflowered body. With Kakashi pulling at his cock and the assault on his prostate, Sasuke's body tensed before he came onto the sheets beneath him. He cried out, and Kakashi couldn't help latching onto his neck, biting and marking him. Sasuke's body loosened. Kakashi continued to thrust in and out of him as Sasuke's orgasm ripped through him. Kakashi didn't last much longer as Sasuke's body quivered around him. He held Sasuke tighter against his body and growled as he released into Sasuke's wonderful body. Kakashi didn't let go as they both panted. Kakashi's cheek pressed against Sasuke's shoulder, and Sasuke all but hanging from the one arm Kakashi held him with. Kakashi finally pulled from Sasuke's body and allowed him to lie down. Kakashi lay on his back. He was hardened by Sasuke curling up against him. "Enjoy it?" Kakashi asked as he maneuvered his arm around his new lover. "I did. Good. Stayed the night?" "Yeah." Sasuke hummed and dropped off. The next morning, they arrived at work together in separate cars and got in the elevator at the same time, joining their colleague Hayate. Kakashi moved in behind Hayate and Sasuke stood next to Hayate. "Sore?" Kakashi asked. "A bit," Sasuke answered casually. "You really gave me a thrashing." "You're not going to have trouble sitting, are you? You seem to be walking all right." Sasuke let out a quiet snort. "I'm fine. Heard getting into the car this morning, though." "Sorry about that." Kakashi did sound a little apologetic. "Don't be. I asked you to do it." "I might have gone overboard, though." "It hurt this morning more than I thought it would." "Like I said, I might have been overzealous." The doors opened. "See you later," Sasuke said as he got off on his floor. The doors shut and the elevator continued up. The silence was heavy. Kakashi leaned forward a little. "I'm teaching him Gendo, swordsmanship. I whacked him with a shinai." "Ah," Hayate said. Kakashi loved teasing Sasuke like that. Neither of them wanted to advertise their relationship, but Sasuke found the teasing just as amusing as Kakashi. Kakashi really missed him. He was missing him lying against him now, missed his company at dinner, missed just seeing him. He threw the creeper against the closet door, hard enough to dent it. If any harm had come to Sasuke, he would relish the jail time to take it out on the perpetrator. Naruto stayed later than anyone to search Sasuke's cases. Kakashi had gone home more irritable than before. Kakashi was always cool and collected, looking bored and lazy, though he was always giving everything his full attention. When Kakashi got irritable, the entire building was suddenly made of eggshells. If Kakashi got mad, everyone suddenly found something to do outside the building. No one had yet seen Kakashi go on a rampage, but everyone was pretty sure things would catch on fire or lightning bolts would start striking people down. Naruto knew he wouldn't be able to sleep tonight, so he went down to the agent's gym to wear himself out. The punching bag swung from the force of Naruto's last hit, swaying slightly but not getting very far before Naruto bombarded the bag with another round of furious hits. His vision blurred of images of Sasuke and the last time they spent together. Nothing was off with the Uchiha, or he would have noticed. "Damn, Deme! Where are you? Why couldn't you tell me?" Naruto brought his knee up, sinking it into the bag with satisfaction. He pulled back and breathed deeply, his hands at his hips, his body soaked with sweat. With an angry shout and a roundhouse kick, Naruto stepped away and grabbed a towel, stalking toward the locker room. A guy called his group of new recruits to attention and offered Naruto a stiff nod. And it wasn't just Sasuke's disappearance that was nagging at him. The bastard was even better than Naruto thought. He never had any doubt Sasuke was excellent at his job, but going through his case files showed he had 99% success rate, having only one case that had gone cold on him. Sasuke was tenacious, stubborn, and focused. Those eyes alone could make a man confess his crimes. Naruto was jealous. Since it might be helpful to the case, Sasuke's personal file was given to them. 3 recommendations. Naruto didn't even have one. It was to be expected, Naruto figured. Sasuke had been top of the class throughout the school except for that 1 year. The year Sasuke's family had been slaughtered, but that was understandable. He was also an athlete. He was the best in Kakashi's personal combat training too. And it showed in his tight, sculpted body. Naruto shocked out of his gym shorts and into the shower, the hot water cascading over his body, a relief to overworked muscles. He closed his eyes and sighed. Around him, guys' trainees showered faster, eager to get out of the building and get home or get food. Naruto couldn't even think of eating. He heard the last pair chatting as they closed the door to the locker room behind them. The room was silent except for the echoey sound of his lone shower. That was Sasuke's ringtone! Naruto hurried from the shower, dripping wet, and wrenched his locker door open to grab his phone, ignoring the fact his hands were still wet and he was buck naked. His heart pounded in his throat as he accepted the call. Sasuke! Naruto all but shouted into the receiver. He was met with a chuckle before a voice that wasn't Sasuke's answered. Wrong guess. Who's this? Naruto demanded, gripping his locker door tightly. Where's Sasuke? Sasuke is doing just fine. Where is he? I would like to tell you that. There was a shuffling on the other end as the mystery man checked the name on the phone's screen before the voice resumed. Dobe, but that would be counterproductive. Do what? Naruto snapped. Everything. Who is this? Naruto demanded again. I would like to trust you with that information, but you haven't earned it yet. The deep, rich voice replied. What are you talking about? There is a reason you are the first one on Sasuke's speed dial, which proves you are the one he trusts the most. I need you to trust me. Where is Sasuke? He's around, alive and well, I might add. How can I be sure? That's where the trust comes in. I will tell you who I am if you promise to trust me. Then, if you have questions, I will consider answering them. Naruto breathed deeply and released his grip on the locker door. His free hand rose to run through his damp hair. Is it not hurt? Naruto squeaked out, clearing his throat immediately after. Sasuke is unharmed. And he's... Sasuke will return. He will? Naruto asked, not daring to hope. You have my word. Let me talk to him. I'm afraid I can't do that. He doesn't even know I lifted his phone. He wouldn't approve of me calling you. He seems to like doing everything himself. Can I trust you? Naruto bit his lip. This mystery man had him by the balls, so to speak, and he was right about Sasuke's independent streak. If Sasuke could have worked without a partner, he'd be busting doors down alone. Yes. There was a hint of a smile in the man's voice as he said, I'm Itachi Uchiha. Naruto felt his stomach bottom out, his face falling in shock. His ears felt numb and his lips went cold. He gasped, his heart pounding against his ribcage in a furious tango. All sound abandoned him, one thought filtering through his numbed mind. Sasuke found Itachi! It took a moment for Naruto to realize that Itachi was still speaking to him. Itachi? Yes? Where's Sasuke? What have you done to him? Naruto hissed. Itachi chuckled on the other end, infuriating Naruto. I'm trusting in you, Dobe. The familiar nickname was enough to calm Naruto's immediate fear, but he was still leery. Why? Because I need your help. Sasuke needs your help. What kind of help? Itachi chuckled again. Do I have your trust? We'll see when I find you and haul your ass in here for multiple murder, Naruto shot. You could try. By the time you catch up to us, we'll be long gone. And you want me to trust you when you say shit like that? Of course. And I think you'd find Sasuke rather unhelpful if you tried to bring me in. Naruto bit his lip, fighting with himself. Did Itachi mean Sasuke didn't want Itachi caught, or that Sasuke would be dead or injured if the FBI came after them? Naruto closed his eyes and took the plunge. You have it, for now, as long as you guarantee Sasuke's safety. Good. You can start by telling me your real name, though I am curious why my brother calls you Dobe. Naruto grew aware that someone else might be in the room. He grabbed a towel and held it in front of his bare hips and searched the room as he spoke, finding no one. My name is Naruto, and that is between Sasuke and me. Naruto. Itachi rolled the name around on his tongue, drawing out the end of his name and emphasizing the middle portion. Naruto shivered, Itachi's voice causing his stomach to rumble pleasantly. I like it. What if I told you I was framed for the murder of my family, Naruto? Then I would ask what proof you have, Naruto said, voice cracking slightly. With a sigh and a softer voice, Itachi asked, How much time do you have? End of chapter 1. Stay tuned.